Last time we talked about doing something for God. Like this idea of getting off the couch, getting off the sidelines and being a part of the game, being a part of what God is doing, being part of His story. This week I want to look at how we can have confidence in that. Like as we take the first steps, as we start doing what God's called us to do, how can we have confidence in it? I think the perfect place to look would be the call of the prophet Jeremiah. See, the prophet Jeremiah was called to some pretty tough ministry, some loneliness, people turning their backs on him, persecution, oppression. How did, in the midst of that, the prophet Jeremiah think, man, this is the Lord, this is what the Lord's calling me to, and how did he have this confidence about himself? The same place that Jeremiah finds confidence is the same place that we can find confidence as well. So in chapter 1 of the book of Jeremiah, we see this call of God on Jeremiah's life play out. We'll start in verse 4. Now the word of the Lord came to me, saying, verse 5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. So this is kind of the foundation of confidence in the call of God, is that before we were even born or formed in the womb, God had set us apart for certain tasks. So God telling Jeremiah, before you were born, I appointed you to be a prophet. So this is just me bringing my plan to pass. There's confidence there. That whatever God is calling you and I to, He has set in motion before He even formed us. That brings a confidence about us. Verse 6. Then I said, Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am only a youth. For to all whom I send you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. So our excuses are nothing in the face of God. Jeremiah says, hey, I'm too young. I don't know how to speak. Sounds like Moses, right? And God says, don't tell me that you're too young. Don't tell me that you're too old. Don't tell me that your handicap may limit you. I don't care about your excuses. All you need to do is go where I send you. That is awesome for us. God doesn't care about what we have, doesn't care about our excuses. He says, you just go do what I call you to do. Verse 8 is big. Do not be afraid of them, because I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. So He tells Jeremiah, don't be afraid of anything. These persecutions that you're dealing with, this loneliness that you're dealing with, don't be afraid. Why? Because I am with you. Think about that. The God of heaven is with us as we obediently start to do the things that He's called us to. The God of heaven is with us as we obey His calling. Then verse 9, last verse. Then the Lord put out His hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said to me, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. That is exactly what God does. He puts His words in our mouth when we don't know what to say. He puts His actions in our hands, in our feet when we don't know what to do. God sets this thing in motion. We don't have to manufacture the right words. God says, no, just go. My words are in your mouth. So how did Jeremiah have confidence? He knew that before anything, before he was born, God set him aside for this call. He knew that excuses don't mean anything to God. Weaknesses don't mean anything to God. He knew that he didn't have to be afraid because God was with him. He knew that God would give him words to say. The same is true for us. So go. Do the things God is calling you to with confidence.